And
Yeah.
we're live.
Hey.
We're live.
What's up, everybody? We're live. We're
The
back.
YouTuber.
It's
Oh, hi.
What's that? Oh hi.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh hi, YouTube.
Oh, hi, you guys.
Oh hi, you guys.
I didn't see you.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to episode 24 of the Riffsters Pidcast, as the kids are calling it nowadays.
Are they? What kids?
The kids
They
I
don't
passed
exist.
in the hall
Oh, yeah.
today.
Those kids.
Those kids. You know those kids? Georgina says hi.
Hi,
Georgina.
She's in here, likes when we're...
No.
What? What?
We're off to a good start, everybody.
We gotta
Yeah.
get this podcast on the official podcast app on Apple because I want to listen to it there on my computer.
I know.
I want to listen to myself and set little Easter eggs like, "Hi, Derek, hope you have a good day," and then I listen to that. I'm
Tomorrow
like,
morning.
nice.
It's like a
Nice.
Wink
it's
at
like,
myself.
it's like the Winter Soldier, like the string of what is it like? What's like the code words that they say where he like
Mhm.
to trigger him into his Russian.
I forget
What
what
would
that
your
is.
because they were really random. They're like arbitrary words.
Pizza, box set, Cloverfield, Xbox. I'm just saying box things right now.
Boxes,
Boxy haircut,
movie boxes,
cardboard boxes,
boxing,
Boxes.
kickboxing, box of dogs.
and then Julian's like, "Trigger must kill president."
Yeah.
Like, let him go.
Yeah, its concept is really simple for the podcast. If you're just joining us, or if you're new to the podcast, which is nobody because there's only one person watching right now.
Georgina.
She's a vet, yeah.
But if you're new to the podcast, it's really simple. Essentially, what we do is we have a topic. The host, which today is going to be Jack, is going to present us with some questions, discussion questions regarding a topic that we don't know about, and then we're going to discuss. And then we'll have a little fun variety segment that he's cooked up for us that we also don't know about, and then we'll close. So, does anyone else have any do we have any opening remarks before we actually dive in heavy to the?
My smoothie's delicious.
What's in that smoothie again?
Too many things to put on.
It's just this like gray matter. It basically looks like it was made with a chum bucket.
It is not gray for
It's
one.
this
It's
kind
like
of, like,
pink.
Oh, it got really
Grayish.
gray.
Yeah, dude, that's a chum bucket milkshake right there.
It was
It's
much.
delicious.
It
for
was much pinker when she finished blending.
Yeah, there's a lot of blueberries in it, so.
It always starts pink and then it like gets.
It's experiencing rapid onset.
Ew! You might want to get some things checked over there.
Yeah, if Dana has any black shit in her mouth as we're talking,
I
just
mean, the
Call
resolution
her out
isn't
on
that
it in the
good.
comments.
somebody feel free to make one of those 4-quadrant memes where it's just zoomed in further and further on her face. That would be
It's
great.
like it's
And then
Oh my
replaces
God.
all of our faces
dun,
with
dun,
that.
dun.
Yeah, put our faces on her teeth.
Ew.
Make us her teeth.
Julian
We're
has
gonna be
really weird
singing.
fantasies.
That'd be fun. I don't know. I'm just saying.
It's
I'm
all-
a molar. I'm a
it's all
molar.
Julian
I'm a
ever
molar.
wanted to
I'm
be
a
was my
molar. I'm a
teeth.
molar. Ho ho. I'm a molar.
All I ever wanted to be was a
Derek
tooth.
Moeller.
Oh, sing.
Man, I'm so much lower than everyone.
Yeah.
I know.
It's almost like
This is the hierarchy
You're
of
also
importance for
slumping.
today's episode. Actually,
it's almost like the height differential is inversely proportional to how awesome everyone is.
or like the singular bars
Now I feel
in
really
spotty
great.
areas.
Yeah.
It's fucking.
I guess I could just go higher.
Diced. You guys just got diced by my math diss.
Oh, that'll be super helpful for this.
And this
Okay.
is Giraffe A-Bone on the right hand side, related to Dana in giraffe form.
Well, now your head is cut off by the episode 24 thing.
Hey guys.
Chajarla Venkatesh, I hope I said that right, says, "Hello guys, with lots of love from India."
Oh,
Wow.
hello.
What? I don't know the time zones that well. What time is it in India right now that you're watching this? Could be the morning, I would guess, right? Probably. This is a safe bet. Georgina also says, "Hausha, hausha, 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 hausha."
What a callback.
Which is a great callback to last
Nice.
week's podcast.
Yes, Georgina.
Is it just me, or does Dana look like Android 18 right now?
Do I?
Yes.
Oh, I guess
Blonde
I am
hair,
kind of
Canadian
wearing.
suit. It's the cosplay. It's the low-key
Would
cosplay.
you like me to go actually get my cosplay out of the closet because I have
please
it?
go change into that right now. In the middle of our podcast. Would be awesome if you could
Some
do
people would appreciate.
3 hours
Like
later.
this video if you'd appreciate
that.
that.
It's 9:35 a.m. in India.
Oh,
so,
wow.
So
Wow,
that's
that's perfect.
That's about prime time. So
Great way to start your day.
good morning, happy breakfast to all the Indians watching.
Yes, all one of them.
Yeah.
Do you want to? Should we jump in?
Sure. So today's topic is going to be or the Overwatch League. For you guys that don't know, Overwatch is a team-based first-person shooter game, objective-based game, and it's run by the company Blizzard, and they created their own league to get a bunch of esports players in with a bunch of different teams, and we're all fans of it. Mm-hmm. So I thought we'd give it a little breakdown today.
Cheers, love. Calvary's here.
Nice.
I know, it's pretty
Derek just got triggered with that a bit.
So I got owl eyes.
We're all been fans of Overwatch for a pretty long time.
Yes.
Pretty much a couple months after the game's release. I'd say
we're all 100+ hour players.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
At least.
Oh, yeah.
So when you guys first heard about Overwatch League becoming a thing, were you excited? Did you think it wasn't going to pan out? What was your first, inkling of the Overwatch League?
Before we answer, give the viewers who don't know a primer on what Overwatch League.
You mean what I did at the start before?
That was about
competitive
Overwatch.
Esports.
But what's the league? Talk them through the league.
Yeah, so there's 12 teams, a range of 6 to 12 players per team. They will each play 2 games a week for 20 weeks, and then whoever has the most wins, or the top 6 teams make the playoffs, or wins the playoffs gets a prize of $1 million. I guess that would be the quick way of breaking that down.
Basically, legitimizing itself as the NBA of Overwatch.
And Blizzard is running it itself, so the company that's making the game is very involved in this league.
And it's, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's one of the, because there has been professional esports for a while, but this is the first esport that's been organized by city, that has a city has a team. And it's got, and it's a league. It's not because I think other esports, to my knowledge, are competitions that they hold.
Yeah, individual teams.
Yeah. So it's more club or organization based. To my knowledge, there hasn't been a city based system before.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not the first one that the game itself is involved in.
Dota. Right. I just mean
this is the most official esports that I have heard of. That's not that's in America. Currently, obviously, that's huge.
There's Korean TV stations that are dedicated to esports, and multiple TV stations.
But I think this is the first time an American company and just Americans in general have actually taken esports in any way, shape, or form seriously. Mm-hmm. Now that they're on college campuses, what?
I know.
College scholarships now.
Dude,
can you imagine that?
I would have been in college immediately after high school if that was the case.
And it's I would have gone to college in that case.
I could have done a scholarship, for God's sake.
I wonder if you can get a partial scholarship, too. In sports, if you're really good, you'll get a full ride, but if you're pretty good, you'll get a partial scholarship.
Yeah, is that how that works?
I wonder how that scholarship selection process goes. Do they just put you in a dark room and just make
they probably look at
your against each other?
They do the
look at your click
probably
rate
look at their
first.
Rankings,
Yeah.
How hard can you click a button?
Each game has its own, and most esports on college campuses is limited to CS:GO or Dota or League of Legends, or those are the big 3, really.
Dude, have you guys played Dota, by the way?
Mm-mm.
It's hard.
It's an MMO.
It fucks.
Yeah, it's a MOBA. It's
It's a MOBA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
I have played League of Legends, though.
I'm sorry.
I was very confused.
I call it League
There's
of
a lot
Losers.
of rules. There's a lot of lanes. There's a lot of minions.
Isn't Heroes of the Storm?
Isn't there 3?
Their version of. Yeah.
Here's the
Too
Storm.
many to count.
So, okay, fun story. Dota is actually made from programmers or game makers that used to work for Blizzard.
Right.
And that's why a lot of Dota characters, if you go and ever actually look at the game, a lot of the characters look like World of Warcraft characters, and a lot of them have very similar-ish names. And then now, yes, Heroes of the Storm came out, which is the actual.
How do they feel about... I mean, Heroes of the Storm is essentially the same MOBA gameplay as LoL. Do you know, are they just cutthroat? Are they rivals with one another?
I mean, yeah, they're all direct competition. I mean, they're not all the same. I would say Heroes of the Storm is a little bit easier to get into than I would say even League of Legends. And League of Legends before that I would call League of Losers because it's so dumbed down version of MOBA.
Yeah.
If you play Dota, you're like, what am I doing?
The League of Legends is probably the biggest
It is.
esports. And Heroes of the Storm isn't even on the radar, really, of esports.
But it's the Super Smash Bros. Of Blizzard games. So it's all these different characters. It's very cool.
It was an awesome game.
Mm-hmm.
I play it. I like Illidan a lot, just saying.
Not a huge fan.
I play it.
Should only buy it for someone you hate.
Rude. It's free, but whatever.
You should only buy this free game for someone that you hate.
Worth it.
It'd be a good gift for someone unknowing.
What was the question?
So when you first heard about the league, like, what did you think it was going to be? Like, did you immediately get excited about it, or was it not until it like came to fruition?
Honestly, for me, I didn't get serious about it. Like, I had heard about it, but I was like, it's just another esports thing. No one's going to take it seriously. Like, what's the point? Like, to even get to know it.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked Overwatch at the time. And then we went to, he and I went to BlizzCon, and we sat down in the arena, and we were like, oh, shit. This is actually a thing. And, like, the energy, because I've been to sports games before, right? I've been to mini baseball games.
All the sports balls, yes.
Yes, all the sports balls. A couple of football games. He took me to a soccer game, and I had not felt energy in a crowd like I felt in that arena.
Oh, the World Cup. You're
The
talking
World
about,
Cup,
when we
yeah,
watched
sorry.
the
At
Overwatch.
BlizzCon. Well, I said BlizzCon. So.
No, but you didn't say Overwatch World Cup. You
Yeah,
just said.
so... Yeah, they had a cup and everything. I had never felt that, so...
They had a cup.
it felt... You know what it felt like? It felt like in Harry Potter when they go to the Quidditch World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
It felt exactly like that.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
Yeah, look over and Dana's like, USA!
I was...
Because it was USA versus South Korea, right?
Yeah, we were watching
Yeah, and the thing of it is like I said, I've been to other sports games, and like I've even gone to like Cardinals games, just like my baseball team and stuff, and like you would never have seen me going nothing like that. Like I will never do that. I think people look so dumb when they do the shit like that. And then I went, and I was like, USA! Like the whole time, like I was going nuts.
I wish I had the clip that I could just cut in right now. Like people look so dumb when they do that. Cut it, and Dana, USA.
No,
USA.
I know. Like,
I love it. It offers like just a different segment of audience. So kind of like the video game players, this opportunity to be really like rah and tribalistic towards San Francisco versus LA versus New York versus Seoul. It's like you get to represent your city and feel that like patriotism, and it's really cool.
Yeah, how has the city system impacted, I guess, your guys' fandom a lot? Because I've watched competitive Overwatch for a while, and I've never seen really anything like Overwatch League.
I was gonna say, I think the city is the key. That's the key difference. That's why it's like And they talked to someone was saying this too. They were like, the reason we did that is to generate fandom where it otherwise wouldn't be. You know, because it's hard to just get it for
tribalism, right?
Yeah, and unless you're like really into like the competitive, like you watched it, but like I never watched it. She never watched it, but like you might be like, I'm a fan of this club team, but none of us ever watched that. But as soon as they put a label on it and said LA Gladiators or LA Valiant or whatever your city is, all of a sudden I'm like, okay, I gotta like.
The one stipulation, the one asterisk right now is it's not fully fleshed out. So the players are half of them are all Korean.
Not
to have like teams like London Spitfire, where the entire team is all Korean.
A lot of them are, but not half.
Yeah.
I mean, but it just like it doesn't represent the population of that city.
But that's what the World Cup's for.
Yeah, but
that's true. That's what the World Cup's for.
But that's how like I watch professional soccer, and like English Premier League teams are like mostly Brazilians, French players. Like rarely do you have there's like maybe one or two British players on the English.
But
Premier
they're
League.
they're living in the UK right now. Everyone's living in Los Angeles. So you have London Spitfires, all Koreans living in LA. They have no like link to that, and so you're watching the players, and you want to support you want to support the country, you want to support the city, but it's just not quite there yet. And I look forward to in future seasons when more better players come from all sorts of different cities. I think it's going to get more kind of refined.
I think more cities need to kind of deal in a little bit, and also we need more arenas, obviously, because the reason they're all in LA right now is just because there's only one arena for this. This is like the beginning of esports in America.
That's what the season's for, is to allow the other cities time to build their arena. Because they were saying at BlizzCon for season 2 they want to have more arenas and actually have the players travel there. In which case, then I think you're gonna see, if they can do it, you'll see a huge jump, because then people in London can actually go to the arena. We're lucky that we're here. That it's like a big.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how it was set up for the World Cup, but I know you guys haven't seen the stage as it sits for Overwatch League, but the stage is phenomenal. So they can replicate that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I guess for you guys that have been watching, what are some players or some moments or some teams that I think really stand out so far this early in the season?
Goose.
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 That's
Goose.
on the Team Gladiators, for those of you who don't know. Big Goose.
But is the Goose tight?
No. The Goose is loose.
Oh,
the Goose
okay.
is real loose. Did you just set that up so he could say that?
No, we could have played with that for so much longer.
Yeah.
No, this guy's tight.
Could have been like,
no.
he's mildly
loose.
unhinged. You know, we could have played with that.
Yeah.
That's okay. I actually, surprisingly like San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think I was going to like them. I thought they were going to be, a rival team like the Valiant are. But I watched them, walk out, in, their cams right before they'd start playing. They're all, laughing and, in, a genuinely, good humor before playing. And I don't know, something about that made me really like them. And then watching them play, I was like, all right, no, you're number two. You're number two. I have to obviously rep Gladiators, but,
Can you still stick? I think part of representing a team is sticking with them through thick and thin, and not just bandwagoning their success. Are you finding it challenging
the
to
Gladiators?
stick with your team through thick and thin?
Julian.
Hold on. I've had trouble with the Gladiators because I don't really care for the colors of the team that much, but they're better than the
Purple and
Valiant.
black, by the way.
I don't like green. Green is my least favorite color. I hate the color green.
I thought you meant skill-wise better.
Oh, no. But
Also,
but I
Dana
also
can't
like.
see the color green. She is colorblind.
No, I can see the color green. I actually can't see the color purple or blue, which is why I don't particularly care for the Gladiators colors. But I like the guys on the Gladiators. I think a lot of the team members are really cool, so it was easy to pick that. But if you were to ask me which team colors I like the most, it'd probably be Shock or London, actually.
I would never pick a team based on such childish parameters
as a
colors.
logo and color scheme.
As he picked it on the model.
Oh, yeah,
shield.
because,
we all had this conversation.
I
said,
team
you guys were like, you should be a Gladiators fan. I was like, I don't think so. Valiant looked like a lot better team, and I'm really glad I did that, because if I was a Gladiators fan right now, I'd be real upset. Real unhappy.
So you're not a
There's some
Gladiators
backstory
fan?
behind
There
this.
You want to put on camera that you do not support the Gladiators and you support the Valiant?
Perhaps be tweeting every time a game ends at the LA Gladiators Twitter account, talking about how much they frustrate me.
It's their defense.
That's the
They're
hypothetical
not putting
right
their
now.
shields up.
That's the hypothetical if I were to be a Gladiators fan. No, I'm just kidding.
No, he's totally a Gladiators fan.
Yeah, but they're pissing me off, man, because they're so good except for that they lose. It's so weird. It's like
they're the best team that loses a lot.
Yeah, they're the best team that can't win. It's
Keep in mind, Shanghai is China's best players.
Yeah, that's
Shanghai's pretty
disappointing.
Can we talk about so we all play Overwatch.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We all are experts at certain characters, or we all
Some
we're
of us
all-
are expert at all of the characters.
Okay.
Well, whatever.
Some
We
of us
play
can
in
only
an
play one
ecosystem
character.
at our skill level, but we're watching just experts, the best of the best, the 1% of the 1% play, and everyone is so skilled in almost every player that you get to see Genjis and Anas at a different caliber than what we see. So their Widowmakers don't miss a shot. When we play, if someone chooses Widowmaker, we're like, who's this,
Come on, Julian.
Julian,
Julian.
is the rager.
You got
on our
jokes?
team.
You got jokes?
Okay, but I don't feel like we're that different than, or not that we're that they're definitely better than we are.
Yes.
But they're also on PC. I feel like if we all spent a lot of time, if we all started on PC and we spent a lot of time on PC, I think it'd be an easier. You would have an easier
Sniping
chance.
You'd be
easier on
surprised
PC,
actually,
sure.
You would
because
have-
everybody's skill level
No,
is higher on PC.
I'm saying you'd have an easier chance seeing where we land. It's hard
That's
to
true.
compare
Okay,
us
Yeah.
that's fair.
to. It's hard to determine how far behind we are to them in skill, because it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Because there's also times when I'm watching and I'm like, that seems like something I could have that I feel like, I'm not saying every circumstance, but there are times when I'm like, I could have played that game, I could have been in that game, and then there are times when I'm like, I probably would have gotten screwed and wouldn't have been able to respawn.
Julian, what game could you have seen yourself in?
There's a couple times when people are sniping and I'm like, that looks like a console sniper. There's some pretty bad snipers.
There was
sometimes.
Is that
some
when
pretty
they
bad
miss?
sniping from the Gladiators. Asher, for some reason, kept missing, and I was like, how?
I see sometimes when he snipes and I'm like, that looks like a me snipe because it was way off the mark and not even close.
We call it an airball.
Catwow says, imagine years from now, kids will be fans of the esports teams their parents were a fan.
That's amazing
That's a
to
cool
me.
thought.
Wow. That is a new thought.
I
That is
am
a brand new
actually
thought.
not a fan of any team my dad's a fan of. I purposely avoided every
In general?
Interesting.
Yeah. I'm a closeted Arsenal fan because he likes them, and I can't break that streak.
Yeah.
But every other team, like Lakers, nope, let's go Pistons.
I guess, yeah, because I'm not a fan of any of the teams my parents are, but I am a fan of what my grandma's a fan of. So.
I was talking to Jack about this. So, like, physical sports, like, just don't get old. I mean, there's baseball, there's soccer, they've got this competition to it, but an e-sport or based on a video game that's constantly being tweaked. How do you see the future of Overwatch in 10 years, or do you think people are going to get bored of it? Frankly?
I mean, CS:GO has been going for 10 years, and that game's not really changed at all. And
well, they've gone through Go wasn't always around. It was different Counter-Strike games, and now it's just global offensive.
And if they continue to change it's just how long that their team will put effort into Overwatch.
Dota and League have been around forever.
Yeah, as long as there's new characters, as long as there's new maps, and as long as they keep updating things for those things.
Do you ever get fatigued, though? Because right now there's, maybe 14 maps, and we've put in 150 hours?
I mean...
But it's like, think about like a... Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're about to say the same thing. I mean, think about American sports or any sports. Like, it's the same game over and over and over again.
Same
but
field.
The beauty of esports is it's not always the same game. There's new maps. There's new characters. There's always going to be something that they add in or change, but just based on patch notes.
Yeah, like if you think... like going off that, if you think about it, like a football game is always going to be on the same field. It's the same distance. And
Different
it's the
players.
Same, it's the same, like, parameters for winning. And then the play sometimes will be different, but, like, you know... The bet, like, if we're going to take football, it's like you can make a really insane catch, you can make a really insane throw. There's kind of a limited pool of cool plays that can happen, and there's every once in a while there's one that you're like, wow. But I would argue that the potential for that in like something like Overwatch is way more, because like there's potential for plays on maps, on locations, on points, like like the level of like if you do the matrix of opportunities for something to happen, I think it's like far greater.
Do you think there's ever going to be a level of mastery? Like, look at the sport of bowling. Like, professional bowlers can all hit 300s, right?
Yeah.
So I would argue that the sport of bowling, this isn't always every game, it's still pretty rare, but you almost reach a level of mastery where it's like you've perfected the game.
Yeah.
You think Overwatch is going to reach a level where it's almost like they're all so balanced. There's just nothing.
I would counter with that is you don't bowl against someone else.
That's true.
Like, that's true. Obviously, you're competing against someone, but you're doing your own thing.
Yeah.
Whereas when you get better, that forces someone else to get better. So you're constantly going back and forth with each other.
In bowling, the system never changes. It's always the same. Like, you're going to use the same ball. You're going to use the same lanes. Like, there's no change in course.
It's a single-player game.
Yeah. Whereas, like, with Overwatch, again, like, there's patch notes. Like, they can nerf Mercy the next day, and you used to be the prime Mercy player, but now you've got to switch to something else.
Yeah.
Not to mention the lineup for sports games, or for most sports that I can think of, the lineups are always the same. Like, you have positions that are filled, like if it's football, you have 16 players that can be on the field, and it's the same positions. It's wrong. It's not 11 players that can be on the field, and it's the same every time. Right? So you have one quarterback, one this, one that, one two of the. You know, like
you can switch up the plays though.
You can switch up the plays.
Sure, you can switch up the plays in Overwatch.
But like Overwatch had like the team comp can change infinite.
That's true.
Like not infinite, but there's a lot of different.
There's a lot of combinations.
Options, and then there's like think about the number of options of like comps that can play against other like I don't know the math thing, but it's like 6 against 6, and then like times however many characters there are, like in terms of options of plays that you can see against each other. You know, I don't know if that made sense. Does that make sense?
No, it does.
Yeah.
So I just think there's like I think Overwatch is particularly. Of all the games I've seen come out, this is, I think, the best suited to this level of attention and to be hopefully the like vanguard that's going to shoot professional esports into the next. Like, hopefully you see other games. Like Smash Brothers, I think, could sustain this kind of league, too. Like, I think they could do this next.
Yeah. Fighting games have always, like, struggled in the esports kind of realm. But Overwatch hasn't been all good, the Overwatch League. There's actually been a couple controversies that have come out.
Oh, yeah.
I was wondering if you guys want to...
Is one of the controversies
the Dallas one? Yeah.
Is one of the controversies that none of the players know how to walk out to the stage.
Julian, can you explain this theory that you have before we go into the controversy?
It's not so much a theory as much as a factual observation that none of the Overwatch players have ever learned how to walk properly. And to the point where I think that that it looks. And I've said this to you guys before for the benefit of the viewers. It looks to me like there's a small alien that's in a robotic suit who has not yet read the user manual on how to operate. And is just like, this is how you work the legs, I think. Like,
much more, very human.
We're moving forward, I think. That's what it looks like
Hello,
to me.
fellow humans. I also walked, yeah?
And so, that's a controversy.
Is your alien, like, Swedish?
Yeah.
It's a Swede without their papers. They're like, have you seen Talladega Nights, where Ricky Bobby's like, I don't know what to do with my hands. If you watch their hands, they're very awkward when they walk out.
Well, then there's also the masturbatory controversy where every time they cut to a player, he's going like this.
Oh. He's like, just gonna do a quick one, stroke that
For
snake.
explanation for people who aren't watching, they have hand warmers in their hands, but the camera cuts off like where you can see it, so it just looks like they're doing this.
No, it was like excusable.
Julian, you literally perfectly did it. For
I know. It was excusable the first week because they wouldn't have known. But then as soon as the first week's over and you definitely watch the rebroadcast, hey, you know that thing that looks like you're jacking off on live TV? Definitely don't do that.
But would you really want to change your routine if it's what helps you play better?
I don't think that's
the game.
I don't think that's what helps.
I mean, you heard Shaz, was it, that was saying like even the smallest mess up like can completely.
Yeah, but
and you don't want to cage the goose.
Just rub it up here. Just do this.
Never cage the goose.
Instead of wetting the willy down here.
Let's talk about doping or some kind of like. Let's talk about cheating. How are people going to cheat?
Oh my god, I saw the funniest.
How do people
this
cheat?
isn't
like
quite
A-bots and stuff.
Well, no.
So
You can just take Adderall.
Oh,
Or like Adderall.
Like Adderall could like hardcore make you a better player.
that happens in esports all the time.
Yeah.
I saw a really it was a behind the scenes video for one of the teams, and like the coach was like it was in a training room, and the coach was over the shoulder of one of the, I think it's like Valiant or something, and he's like, okay, like on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the worst pain you've ever felt in your life, how bad is it? And the guy was like, it's like a 7, and it's like his finger. It's like, come on, man, just do this.
Cat Wow asked a really good question. The same question I've been asking myself the entire time of watching esports. Where are all the women in esports?
I know, who's going to be the first female Overwatch League player?
And that would be completely fair. It's like there's no weight or height or like any differentiator. It's 100% fair equalizer.
So it's
I know why.
It exists in in esports. It does exist. It's just not in Overwatch yet. I think part of it is the limited roster. Like 12 teams, 12 players maximum, so there's 144 players.
Here's the kicker, like, just as many women play video games as men.
Correct.
They're just not as vocal about it.
Mm-hmm.
The thing of it is women oftentimes have imposter syndrome, and they might be really good at playing video games, but because it's kind of a man's world in gaming, like, they won't try out or even go or think that they could do it, so they don't go. And the ones that do, fuck yeah, girl, get it. But
especially with other countries, when you're factoring that this is a international league, a large majority of them, or a large chunk of them are coming from Korea. Then you have to take in gender roles in different countries.
The reason that Diva has like an actual women's movement right now is because she is the first, StarCraft, thank you. She's a StarCraft League player in lore. And so women in Korea, I believe, started a movement, an actual women's movement under her, which I think is pretty freaking cool, to be honest.
We'll give them a nice yas, girl,
yas, girl. Get it.
Support them with a long
You have to do the call. It has to be like, yas.
I want someone to make a social video where they take famous celebrities yawning and just add yas.
How many clips of celebrities yawning do you think you
I'm sure there's plenty.
Or what about in Spaceballs, the prince that always yawns?
Come back!
Yas.
It's amazing when you say
Valium.
What about Snorlax going?
Yes. You could find these clips on celebrities on the bench on the seats of a basketball game. Or, like you know that you know
you go to one basketball game, bring an iPhone.
So, isn't it weird how when you say yawn, like you yawn, like you just said it and then I had to yawn. Like, don't you want to yawn right now?
Not really.
Just don't you feel like it though?
I'm pretty awake.
Couldn't you just do it though?
No.
If you wanted to though?
No.
Could you just do it once?
No.
Please.
Moving on. Anyway, so
this episode of Julian bodes Dana into action.
So the controversy, as I was saying, that Overwatch League has kind of been hit. we had one player on Dallas XUC already be suspended for the rest of Stage 1 due to homophobic remarks to an openly gay competitor. And we had Prophet, a player for London, being fined $1,000 for flipping off the camera while on stream. So, I guess...
He did?
Yes.
How much did he get fined, sir?
$1,000.
Okay, that one's just like, take the hit, baller move. Like down.
Like, I got enough money. Boom.
That's $1,000 well spent. I'll do that.
But do we know why he flipped off the camera?
He said like he heard like his coaches like in his ear and stuff like that, so he did it like to his coaches, not like fuck you, but like ha fuck you, like that.
Oh, I see.
But it was like as they were going from player to player to being like, this is who's in the game. He was just like,
now, was it a good one or was it like?
No, it was basically like that.
It wasn't a Dana fu, or it was just like a.
I'll take that $1,000 hit every day of the week.
Fair enough. So I guess it's just with it being such a new league. Can Blizzard and the Overwatch League kind of take these, will these controversies have a major impact being this new of the league?
Who's the...
Yes and no. So, So, like, bad, press is still good press for people who are trying to get their name out there. So, I mean, definitely don't have homophobic players, but, like, if you want to flip off the camera...
I think we're all in agreement unanimously on that one. That's a power move, and we're all fine
Pretty
with that.
baller.
Question: who was the competitor?
That's what I was going to ask.
Booba from Houston Outlaws.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so...
Fuck yeah. Overwatch is...
You got yourself a sub and follow.
I will say it for everyone. Basically, Muma mocked XQC after Houston beat Dallas and took one of his catchphrases, and he said, as my good friend once said, and then said one of his catchphrases that I'll butcher if I try and say, basically teasing him that they just swept him 4-0.
Yeah.
So later on his stream, XQC was like cursing him out for doing that. Then goes, suck a fat cock, you would probably enjoy it. And then that...
On his personal stream.
On his personal stream, not on Dallas' stream.
So that's a really interesting concept that these professional players can do their craft.
That's what he said?
He said about Muma, openly gay, suck a fat cock, you'd probably enjoy it.
Not suck a fat cock,
Correct.
Oh, then what's he getting? That's not homophobic remarks. If he called him like a, that's just like talking shit. If he called him a F word.
No, it's still homophobic. It is pinpointing him out, knowing he's gay, and like saying you'd probably.
But it's
like
not.
it.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but why is that? Like, I don't understand how that's like anything more than.
But he's also representing his team, so if he's a personal streamer, not famous, not being paid for, not being in the public eye, then
it's not okay.
It's his own. Yeah, it's never okay, but it's his own shit. But it's almost like putting your Twitter handle as a professional on your sport. You're liable for all your actions.
Which is why Dallas suspended him 2 more games than the Overwatch League itself suspended him. Dallas extended the suspension.
Interesting.
Why do you think overall, Julian, are you struggling? He was also fined $2,000 in addition to the suspension.
Well, I guess in my head when you said he got fined for homophobic remarks, I immediately was like, okay, he called him like a fact, I don't want to say it on our stream.
We know.
I was like, immediately was like, oh yeah, that's what he called him. That's why, and it's like fine. But if he was just like suck a fat cock, like everyone says to everyone, suck a fat cock.
It wasn't the suck a fat cock that was the issue.
I know.
It was that you'd probably like it, but that was pinpointing him.
But
personally.
I'm trying to think of an analogy for
let's say, obviously different, but fun fact: there is, to my knowledge, only like one black person in the entire league. He's on LA Valiant. It would be as if someone, instead of saying the N-word to him, was like, I'll see you, like, hanging from a tree. Like, that's very specifically targeted to him and his demographic.
Without actually
and it's
saying...
still being problematic.
Yeah. But that's like, so if you said, like, I see you hanging from a tree, then I'm like, whoa, that's awful. Don't ever open your mouth ever again. Definitely tape it shut or burn it off.
Yeah.
I don't know how you burn off your mouth. But, that's inciting like a history of subject, like.
I mean, I would say that people who are gay have a history of being.
But.
Like, I mean.
I know, but like that's not what you're like.
Oh, okay.
You're not saying to him like I hope you die of AIDS or so. Like that's what I'm saying. Like that's where that's where the line gets blurry for me because like it'd be like someone. It'd be like someone telling me, like, people, like, rib me sometimes where they're like, oh, like you bet your people are gonna plant a bomb, or and I'm like, haha, like.
But it's the way it's the intention they say it. So like, I mean, you could say any words, but it's the intention.
I guess
Like
yeah,
they say, so that was an attack.
I mean, like, I'm sure, like, I've said something to somebody in jest of that same ilk, but, like, never was pinpointing them for anything. But, like, what is the likelihood that that was actually the case?
I guess here's what it is. I don't know. Like, I don't think that statement is enough to paint XQC as a homophobe. Does that make sense?
That's why it is a homophobic comment and not calling him a homophobe.
Well, and weren't you telling me before off camera that the second he said it, he's like, oh, like
he had an immediate reaction of stiffen, blank face, like, oh.
Okay, so I'm really, I'm.
So it's almost as if he didn't actually mean to say that.
Yeah, it just like came out like
or like he realized who he was saying it to, kind of thing.
I don't know.
But still, the damage is done because he's in the public eye.
Like,
I mean, you shouldn't say that if you're in the public eye.
I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't suspended if he just said "suck a fat cock."
Yeah.
We don't know, but because "suck my dick" is like such a common phrase, especially like
I say it all the time
in gaming and stuff like that.
I do actually say it all the time.
Overwatch voice line.
Suck my neck.
Which character would it be a voice line for?
Suck my neck.
It would absolutely be Diva.
Would it be Diva?
Yeah.
Or could it be like Junkrat?
Nah, I could see Junkrat saying that.
Imagine like a terrifying roadhog.
I was thinking a soldier. Suck my dick.
What about Reaper?
Suck
my dick. No, I can't do it.
That was demonic, though.
I mean, I try.
Mercy, suck my dick.
Should we jump into the? I don't want to cut us off.
Oh yeah,
oh shit. Kawa says Winston. Suck my dick. It's like Goofy saying.
Just real quick before moving on to the next session. So last week we saw Boston beat London, Philly beat New York, Seoul lost to New York, and then Shanghai took a map off them. So we're kind of seeing these like really dominant teams now lose to what were considered lesser teams. Does that get you more excited, or do you like seeing like the best players thrive? Like,
does that get me more hard or less hard?
Yes.
More hard.
It's an equal. I mean, there's competition.
As a London fan,
I don't want there to be early Ronda Rouseys.
You want late Ronda Rousey.
I just want everyone to be equal. I want to watch games knowing it could go either way.
Yeah.
I mean, I caught the slight
teams. Not even my team.
Yeah, no, I think you need a degree. I think you need a degree of like movability. I think there's always going to. I like dominant teams. I like teams that are heavy underdogs.
Yeah.
And can take a win, but I don't ever want to see. And we were all talking.
I was about to bring up Shanghai.
Yeah, I don't ever want to see a Shanghai situation, especially in the inaugural season, because it's just bad for everyone. Because if one of the teams can't hack it, then it means there's something wrong with like the league structure.
Right.
That means that whole city loses interest, because I would, if it's that bad.
You're already.
I know. So I can't even imagine how the people in Shanghai. So like, you just don't want that for the league, for the health of the league in the first.
And it just isn't fun to watch someone lose every single week like that.
I don't know. Some people like public murder, but that's just them.
It is, but when you actually care about the league, it's like, I mean, like I don't want Shanghai to beat my team, but I don't want to see them lose every single week so bad. At least if
they won't go 0-40. I'm pretty positive about that.
Yeah.
But it's looking rough.
It is looking rough.
When we switch over, so we're going to switch over to our next segment right now. Because I already know what it is. While you explain it to these guys, I'm going to run and get my charger so the computer doesn't die.
Okay.
In the middle of our stream. So I'm going to switch you over to the next segment.
Wow,
so
real
guys,
professional.
I have handouts over here.
Ooh, handouts.
This one. So guys, this is kind of a new show concept.
Can I show them?
Yeah, I mean, it should be. Could you click on 3 alt?
Oh wow!
So
oh my God, you put loose goose? No, okay.
There it is.
Sorry.
So this is a new show concept that we might be working on. We're going to test out here called Riff Draft. And basically, you create a draft system. You have a limited amount of money that you can spend, and you have to pick your best team. We're planning on doing this with a lot of different concepts: Marvel, DC, Pokemon, different stuff like that. We just thought we'd test it out here. So guys,
comment in if you guys have any like franchises or genres you'd want us to do this for.
Also, like, you can totally play along and build your team here. But guys, you have $15 to build your team. You need to get 6 players. Obviously, the standard is 2 DPS, 2 tanks, 2 supports, but you can do as you see fit. The standard way of doing it would be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, like getting Fleta, Pine, Mickey, Note, Dak, Harry, Hook. You don't have to do that. You could get 3 5s like Fleta, Bird, Ring, Gesture, and then 3 0s at Zushu, Sebasai, Harry, Hook. You can mix and match however you want. You just have $15 to spend to get your team of 6.
All right. Okay.
Goose is a steal at $1.
I know. How many? Wait, how many? Oh, 6 players.
There are 6.
Can we get pens?
I can grab one. So, yes.
I got it.
So, just for example, this was a team that I created that I thought I would do, which was getting Jonak and Arc for $4 each. Muma for another 4, so that's $12 spent. Shadowburn, Surefour, and then Dia. Or, sorry, no. It was Shadowburn, Nomi, and then Dia.
Okay.
And that would get me to 15.
I think I know what I'm doing already. So, I'm going to do... Do I have to say it out loud? Or
No, select it first, then we talk through our process.
Yeah, so I guess just kind of talking through you guys, are you prioritizing teams you like? Are you prioritizing roles?
I'm prioritizing as I've watched who I think is like the better players,
Okay.
or who I think would work well.
Georgina is prioritizing. She says, "I was just looking for cute boys, but could not find any."
Excuse me,
Georgina,
Georgina. Look at Jake.
Look at Jake.
Jake.
He's
Jake.
the leftmost in the $3 row.
Jake is bae. I am a Houston Outlaws fan, and almost exclusively for Jake because he is like hyper aggressive. I fucking love that guy. I also found a way to get Jake on my team in one other, where I did Toby, Jonak, Jake, Shadowburn, Nomi, and Roshan.
Well, who's the guy who got fined?
He
Suspended?
got
right?
or neither of them are on there.
Okay.
He's the one that he was talking about, but he didn't get he's not the one who got fined.
Oh wait, I already have 6 players and I haven't spent $15 yet.
You could save money, or you can try and get a more higher value pick.
Do I have to spend all the money?
Nope.
Can I just have 7 players?
Catwow says, "I choose all the free ones and use the $15 for lunch."
Your team would be looking a little rough.
Yeah.
But,
You would basically be Shanghai.
Half Shanghai, half Florida, with a little bit of, I think that's Dallas thrown in there.
Is the middle column is tank?
Tanks.
The middle 2 column?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Which team did he? That's Shanghai.
Yeah,
that's
Shanghai.
Florida.
I like how I picked 3 hardcore DPS and 1 tank and 1 healer. Cool.
Who's your 6th?
Oh, sorry, 4 DPS.
Your team is going to get real interesting real quick.
I mean, but to be fair, Surefour has been on a tank before, has played tank, so he could probably... I would make him switch to tank.
That's fair.
Okay, I have mine.
Everyone good?
Hold on.
I'm not going to lie to you, I didn't notice the DPS tanks and supports until after I already picked my team.
What team do...
But...
No, Gamsu and Dream Casper.
What do Gamsu and Mickey... What teams are those?
Gamsu is Boston, Mickey is Dallas.
Okay.
I mean, I have another $1. Do I have
Okay,
to
I'm
have
ready.
6
I'm ready,
players?
I'm ready,
I
I'm
mean...
Okay, guys, let's see what team you're fielding.
Alright, you ready?
Dana, you can go first. You were ready.
Alright, so for $4, I picked Linkser because he's really, really great Widow.
Fair pick.
Yeah. In the 3 range, I picked Jake and Soon, just because I think they're great players. Although, now that I thought about it, I should probably drop Soon for Unknown, knowing that I need another support.
And they both come from LA Valiant.
Yeah, they do. They do. Absolutely. In the $2 range, I picked Bishu because I think he's a pretty solid diva. And then in the $1 range, I picked Surefour and Goose.
So your picks were Linkser, Jake, Soon, Bishu, Surefour, and Goose?
Yeah.
That's $14 for 6 players. That is a steal.
I think they're pretty solid players, to be honest.
What tank would you switch Sure for over, since you already said?
He would probably be, since Bishu's already the diva, the other tank.
Okay.
Whatever that ends up being is on him. He does do a pretty decent Roadhog, if I remember correctly. So.
Fair enough. Fair play.
Am I up?
Yeah.
Well, okay, 2 things I want to note right off the bat. Goose at $1, criminal. Criminal thievery. Just ultimate breaking and entering in terms of stealing. Sure for at number 1 is also a crime against humanity.
I like how we basically think.
Sure for is at least a 3 for me.
Even though you were very disappointed in him not 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
Who?
Sure for.
But you didn't pick him.
I know, it just didn't work out with mine because I needed to support more than I already picked 2 DPS. Like, he's not Linkster and Jake, so like,
That's true.
Let's just relax. I also have a question for this, but I'll ask it after because it's kind of like a question for everyone. So my picks end up being, like Dana, Linkster and Jake. I feel like that's going to be a pretty popular duo across the board. Linkster is just can't miss a shot as a Widow. He's what I aspire to be. It's what I dream about when I go to bed at night. It's what I dream about when I wake up in the morning. He's what I dream about when I daydream during the day. Jake is just cute, so I don't know. It's just like every time he talks and when he
It's like stop it, Jake.
Yeah, it's
stop.
Whenever he smiles and his eyes wrinkle, I'm just kind of like, you're silly.
Oh my gosh.
Do you
have a slight?
And his last name is Lion. So
and
Jake's last name is Lion?
Jacob Lion.
No. It's a wholesome flirting. This is not
Could
sexual.
be Julian Lion.
Jack
Lion.
I can't be with you anymore. I
Dana
aspire
Lion.
to
She's
greater things.
She's Team Jake Rat all the way.
Yeah, now that I know his last name is Lion, I have to marry him.
Hopefully it's Lion, but not Leon.
Lion.
It's Lyon.
Doesn't matter. Either way, I have to marry him.
There we go.
But on a real level, Jake, I think, is one of the most versatile players in the league. He plays a lot of positions very well, and his Junkrat is stupid.
Great term.
His Junkrat is just uneducated in terms of how good it is. Goose, number 1, like I said, just flat out thievery.
The Goose.
Put you in jail.
G-Bob.
Stealing. So that puts me at $8 with my 2 DPS and my support. I'm going to throw another $2 at Raucus.
Wow, you're going heavy outlaws over here.
Because I think Raucus is a pretty strong support as well. And of the remaining supports, he's who I'm going with. Although Unno I could have thrown in there if I had an extra dollar.
I'm not gonna lie,
Unco.
Yeah, I kind of wish I had dropped soon for that.
Didn't know there was a guy named.
I'm changing.
Hey, Kitty, get off! Kitty, get off!
I'm changing.
Hold on.
I picked Unco.
Julian, you stay up.
Get off, Kitty. Okay, sorry, the kitty was on the counter. I didn't know there was a guy named Boombox. That's pretty stellar. Wish I picked him just for the name.
Boombox.
That leaves me with, I believe, $5.
You have $5 left, and you have 2 spots.
So I'm going Bishu just to rep the Gladiators, and like Dana said, I think he's a pretty strong tank. He's a good diva. He's made some good plays. He's smart. And then I go Gamzu for no other reason other than earlier in this podcast you said Boston is doing better, and I needed someone to fill out a tank in the $3 range.
Okay, fair enough. And none of the lower value picks were interested to you at all?
No.
Save some money?
Cool with my 6.
Okay.
Although if I had to pick, it would probably go to Logix.
Oh, wow. He's a good value pick, I think.
I think so too.
Derek.
Okay, so I tried to match my own play style, which is supports are very, very necessary. And so I wanted to spring for Toby, $5 at Toby. Soul Dynasty, solid player, going to support the entire team, try to keep him alive. More importantly, he's going to be able to keep himself alive and provide a lot of value for the team. Being a team player, of course, the value for $1 is Big Goose.
Steal.
So at $6, I'm trying to bring as much value to the team and support. My next priority was tank, and so I wanted to spring $4 for the outlaw player Muma. And then Bijou has a really good diva for the LA Gladiators. So I think we're going to get a lot of support. We're going to get a lot of shields and tank. For DPS, I think that's kind of a flex position in that Jake is a pretty good value, $3 at Jake. And then I actually went with my wild card was Dia. So I think that with a solid team, a DPS player would be able to provide more value. So basically, it's, you have your healers, you have your shields, you have Jake, and then this guy's going to rise to the occasion with the support of a solid team.
I think
you actually aren't wrong.
Derek hit the nail on the head. I think Logix and Dia are some of the most high-value picks because DPS, there's a player on Dallas Tainu who is one of the best DPS players in the world, and he basically said DPS does not matter. He said your tanks are your most important, then your supports, and then your DPS. Because tanks make space for your DPS, supports keeps everyone alive.
Yep.
But didn't know that.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty true.
So,
but to be fair, you do need a semi-decent DPS because you need someone to carry the team.
Yeah.
If you're not doing any damage, there's nothing to, like... So. But that's also because I played a lot of MOBAs, so I know that you still need a carry to win.
Here's my question. It's twofold.
Yeah.
Flower. If Flower makes it to this board, first of all, where is he dollar-wise? That's a question for you.
He's a $5 for sure.
Is he?
And
$4.
And
who would you take off a $5?
And do you guys pick him?
No.
Any of the DPS. He's better than them.
Fleta is probably the best player in the league right now.
Yeah.
Who does he play with?
I would like to see that him and Flower have at it. Did you see Flower at the World Cup?
But that's the only time he's shown. Like that was his big breakout. Why did I say that like a French person?
His big breakout.
When he hits puberty, is that going to change things?
His breakout. Is that going to change things? Yeah, I don't know because the question is you have a sample size of one experience to base it on. Does that? Why am I saying stuff weird? Base it on.
It's because you're probably hungry. This is why I ate beforehand.
So do you know what I mean? Like where do you? I'm thinking Danis has put him in 5.
I think 4.
He's a 4?
I think put him in 3.
Did you watch his games? Are you guys blind?
He was good, but there's some degree of not luck, but opportunity that he.
So I would probably put him 4 and take out Pine. Only because Pine is. We've only seen such a small sample size of him, but his sample size is deadly.
Yeah.
It's hard to say.
And I think then I swap out my Linkster pick for Flower if he's at 4 in place of Pine.
Oh yeah, I think he's better than Linkster.
Georgina's team, according to cuteness, is who I think is still your criteria, Georgina, if I'm not wrong, is Toby.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Envy.
Ooh, okay.
Where's Envy?
Right here.
Okay.
We got $9.
Jake.
That's
Yeah.
12.
Obviously cute babe.
Raucus is
Raucus.
cute.
He's stylish.
Was
Yes.
Raucus?
Nomi.
Okay.
Nomi's got a little bit of the beard
only
thing going on.
Mexican in the entire league.
Yeah. And Surefour, who's also a pretty good looking dude. He's got those piercing blue eyes.
I think he might have gone $1 over.
That's
Is she $1 over? That's okay. We'll give her an extra
She's
dollar
going
just
by
for.
cute. She can have my $1.
She can have $1 for.
Dana
cuteness.
did leave $1 on the table, so there
I
we
did.
go.
Oh.
This is cool. This is gonna be a fun series. I want to do some more things.
Yep.
I would like to see an Infinity War draft.
Oh, wow, no way.
We were just looking at it
No way,
online
huh?
before you came. Someone movie pilot had posted one.
Yeah.
And we were looking at
He's
it.
actually created one.
Yeah, I created it for it.
Oh no, I'm sorry. That was Star Wars. That we were
Yeah.
looking at. It was who would be your light side squad, and on the bottom row there was like the $1,
Six
and it
and
was
red.
Admiral Holdo, and it was just this bitch.
And then for Ewoks, it was
Wicket.
Wickets.
And then Anakin was obviously the 5 thing, but in parentheses right before it was nice Anakin. I said Ray was
Holdo's
Wait, what about the dark
Is
side
she
picks?
$5?
'Cause that's
She
what
was-
I would do.
right?
Yeah, we should do both. We should do both.
Ray would be about $3 to $4.
Yeah, I said
I'm
Ray
not
was
gonna
way
lie.
overrated.
Also, who do you think is the most overrated player on this list, and who do you think is the most obvious besides Goose?
Besides
Who is the
Goose.
most underrated player?
Dia or Logix. An overrated gesture.
Yeah, maybe Dia. I think is
I
pretty.
think Muma's overrated.
I think.
The other ones I feel like are solid 4s, but
I don't
think
know a lot of
Muma
these players well
I would put in 3.
I think Envy might be a little overrated.
But
Wow, LA Valiant hate over here.
You know,
but underrated.
or Soon or Unco.
I bet you Nomi or Dak. I think you're kind of
Dak? There's a guy named Dak?
Yep.
Oh, it's amazing. I never saw some of these players, like Fraggy, amazing Viking look.
Yeah, he's on Philly. He's a Winston that has the lowest average lifespan. But he's up near the top in, like, damage and kills.
Huh.
He just goes, like, balls to the wall, dies, but, like, does work in that limited time.
Cabo says Logix, Roche. Wait a minute. All the zeros.
The dream team. Dream team.
To be fair, those 6 would beat us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
I don't know about that, because I was looking at my stats. I mean, I know we were playing on PS4, but, like, I can play on PC too, because I have it on both. My stats actually weren't that different. The only difference is it's just me, and I'm playing with people who are not as skilled. If I were to play with the same amount of skill that the rest of the players, my stats would probably
But if you're also
be less.
supported by people of your skill level communicating, playing as a unit, as a team, that'd also help you.
You know
Yeah.
what
Which we can do.
You know
We
what made
could
this,
do. We don't do.
You know what made this interesting? If we had the available data, would be if they had stats. It would have been interesting to whatever this team is, like take their average stats and categories and pit them against like each other's teams and see just like who would come out in the stat
I
categories.
think Derek's would be really interesting because he picked 2 Mercies.
Mm.
But Toby is the best Lucio player in the game, so once he's back in meta, things get interesting.
Yeah. I was going to say something. Oh, yeah, guys, when this becomes a video, leave us some comments about if you want to ever see what we like to call the tilted. It's a long-going conversation we've had where we decided that, or we talked about doing some Overwatch live streams with all of us together. This one right here, just trigger warning, gets very triggered.
Yes. But
calm as a cucumber.
also, hope you guys liked Rift Draft. Hopefully we get some more videos in the future. But I think that now brings us to our sponsor.
I think it's about time.
Which, you know, we're very happy that we could do this Overwatch League episode, and I think we just need to give praise for who bestowed this one. So our sponsor today is Big Daddy Jeff's Rake and Hoe Garden Supplies.
Big Daddy Jeff's Rick and Hoe.
Rake and Hoe.
Rake and Hoe.
What's a
Garden
rick,
supplies.
what's a rick
I
and
don't
hoe?
know.
A rickety hoe.
Rickety hoe.
Like a hoe that's a little bit
Garden
shaky.
supplies. All right.
Well,
Yeah.
his hoes are great. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Jeff-
His
dude,
rakes are great. His
Jeff's
hoes are
got
great.
hoes.
Dude, his hoes are like so hard. They fuck.
All his shit is good. Like his manure quality is phenomenal.
I was disappointed at the lack of any sort of vehicular gardening or lawn.
He likes to
devices.
ride his tools.
I am a big fan of, as you
But
guys know,
this is a
I like to drag my
sponsor,
tools.
so
as you've all heard me talk about many times, I'm a big fan of riding my garden tools.
so this is a sponsor, so we have to lie to the audience and tell them how much we love this product.
We love
We
it.
I'm not even
love this
Listen,
product.
They're
I'm
not-
not even lying. Like,
They know how it goes on the Riffsters. The sponsors know that when they sign the contract.
Mhm.
So I'm not gonna betray my honor
Your Honor.
to promote what I think. For instance, I would definitely not rep Bob's Owl Hut.
Nope,
Would
not at all.
Never.
Never.
So I'm not saying I don't like Big Daddy Jeff's Rake and Hoe service,
Garden supplies.
garden supplies. I'm just merely expressing something for them to know is that I wish in the future look into vehicular based gardening tools.
Did you want to be able to ride this vehicular thing with
just-
the song "She Thinks My Tractor's Sexy"?
Yeah, exactly. For those of us who enjoy the feeling of
do you like a fast ride or just like kind of a?
I just
low
like a
throttle?
slow, deep vibration in between my
Okay.
thighs.
Yeah, that's,
Is really all I'm looking for out of Big Daddy Jeff's. But
That makes a lot of sense now.
their rake situation is great.
I like his line of collectible gnomes.
The gnomes were great. That was a highlight for
But
me.
Yeah.
what do you think about the packaging of the gnomes with the boxes that they come in, and you're not really sure what gnomes are inside?
Well,
when you get
okay,
them?
he does blind boxes.
The mystery gnomes.
With
Yes.
Yeah.
I really
There's
like
no
the
place like gnome.
Dominatrix gnome.
Yes.
Yeah, that's,
He
that's
should
probably
take his
best.
Blizzard license. I mean, this guy controls everything. He should do gnomes of all the characters, blind boxes with chase skin variants.
Mm.
So you could have any skin you want,
Mm.
any character you want, make them all eBay exclusives, but shipping is going to be a bitch because these things are, what, 12-pound gnomes?
12 pounds.
Yeah.
Imagine your entire lawn is just it basically looks like my bookcase.
Well,
it's just all gnomes. There's not even lawn anymore.
well,
And they're
really,
animatronics.
It's like a bunch of spikes.
No, but some of them are. But I was gonna say what also sets apart Big Daddy Jeff's that I didn't know until they sponsored us was that they have a whole line of actually petrified gnomes, like
Oh, okay.
taxidermy, like So it's like, listen, if you're gonna put in the effort to go actually hunt the gnomes, murder them, carve out their innards, and then stuff them with fluffing,
Taxidermy, yeah.
I'm super into that. That to me evens out the scales in terms of my disappointment.
That makes
regarding
sense because I was reading some reviews on the gnomes, and in particular the ones that are animatronic also have some organic materials to it, and I heard that they actually kill people, and you have to turn lights on and off constantly throughout the night to keep them at bay.
Why would that keep them at bay?
I don't know, last 5 minutes of Freddy's.
I've got a question for you guys.
Yes.
Do gnomes guard treasure? How much is Big Daddy Jeff doing in harvesting these gnomes? Is he getting anything in return? Do they bake cookies and live in a tree? Do they bury treasure?
They
I
kill.
think you're confusing gnomes with elves.
This might be.
I think you're
Keebler variety.
confusing elves for dragons.
They're all fantasy creatures.
He's reaching in these
Rude.
tree holes. He's like, "Give me all your cookies and also your lives.
There's
I'm
a
gonna petrify you. Stuff them in a petrifying machine,
There's
which
a-
I believe is kind of like a dryer. they're tumbling around in there, and after an hour, they're just
What does a
completely
gnome
petrified.
tumbling in a dryer sound like?
I was gonna go more onomatopoeic and just say tutum, tutum,
Now,
tutum.
now Big Daddy Jeff loves making his own commercials. How do you guys respond to his very
BDJ.
personalized?
BDJ.
Yep, BDJ. His very personal commercials that he delivers probably once a month.
I like the fact that they add subtitles. His lisp is pretty strong. Hopefully it's not offensive to him.
Julie does a really good
But-
reenactment of this guy,
Yeah.
actually.
Since when do I do a really good reenactment?
No, I think like right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I forgot.
Yeah, the guy with the list.
I forgot that right now I do a really good reenactment. How does he? He's like.
Hey guys,
He's like, well-
it's Big Daddy Jeff.
He's just like, well, listen, we really wanted to bring some things to the Rake and Hoe shop, and I just think that there's some changes that you guys are going to be really happy with. And so, really what we're trying to do is bring you the best in the future vehicle-based
He's moving
gardening
like an
tools
Overwatch player.
that we can possibly bring you, and that's what we like to bring you. I think that's a pretty good spot on.
That was an exact reenactment of the commercials.
I like how he releases YouTube updates, as if there's some gardening following being like, yes, we need more.
Dude,
we need
you
more."
should look at the patch notes.
Yeah!
The
Oh!
only
You have
Rake and,
patches in your lawn?
The pun hurts.
We got you.
the only Rake and Hoe based merchandiser seller of Rake and Hoes that is on YouTube. Actually, they have a big competitive advantage in that regard.
I walked into his brick and mortar store. I'm like, where the hose at? Where the hose at? Where the hose at?
And Jeff's like, I got hose for you.
He's
That's
like-
great.
Have I got hose for you?
Yeah.
This actually reminds me.
I got hose and shit, and then he gestured to the manure aisle.
Literal, yeah.
I'm like, I am so broke, I can't even buy shit here. Like, literally. It's too expensive.
It's high quality.
There it is. The crying.
That's
guys.
high grade shit.
Yeah.
Laughs so hard he cries every time.
Shit, Jeff.
And Big Daddy Jeff's just like, more mystery boxes.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, do you want the box? He's like, do you want to buy our big box? And it's just this big wooden thing that you get this crowbar with to unlock. And he's like, you can get anything in there, including your, all the good
I was gonna
shit.
say, it's actually reminded me. True story. Dan and I were at Baja Fresh yesterday getting lunch, and their window sign, the part that says shoes and shirt required, the S had been shaved off, so it was just hose and shirts required. It's like
Great business model.
It's oddly specific in terms of demographic. So you're saying I can't order lunch here unless I
I
bring
mean,
my
he
hoe.
walked in, so
He did.
And
It's
I brought
a
my
1-to-1
hoe.
ratio. Sometimes 2-to-1 ratio.
you're the hoe. That's what I was just implying. I
But
was
I-
wearing the shirt
but I
and the
took it
pants in
and
this
I
relationship.
I repurposed it and turned it around and shot it back at you.
How about you both are each other's hoes?
Until
And
you're
she's
each
not
other's
your hoe,
hoe,
no
no mo.
Oh man. No, yeah. So anyway, Jeffs.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to take a lot of your paycheck. I would recommend, if you follow their Instagram, if you follow their Twitter, you're going to look at this, you're going to tag your friends, going to be like, your wallet is broke. Just sign up for the direct deposit. It's RIP your wallet. Pour a 40 out for your wallet.
Where's the bargain bin shit?
So, yeah.
I'm sorry, manure. My bad. My bad.
So
It's basically, sorry.
Go ahead.
It's basically just his shit in a bucket.
Well, that's coveted. That's eBay exclusive.
Dude,
Yeah.
you're
Big
telling
Daddy
me we
Jeff.
can get Big Daddy Jeff shit in a bucket?
Can you
He
get it
eats all
petrified?
organic.
Can I get the golden skin for that?
Put it in the petrifying machine. Put some gold on this.
Yeah.
Man, anybody who doesn't know Overwatch can be real lost in terms of a lot. Like,
It's
we have
all
some
good.
good comedy here, but there's a lot of in references that they're.
You could say a little nugget of information.
Big Daddy Jeff is this giant spider from Overwatch that we all worship.
Yes.
Why giant spider?
You'll get that on the drive home.
It's okay.
What?
Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning into our podcast.
Why
Had a
do
lot
I-
of fun talking about Big Daddy Jeffs, but I think we'll sign off with our traditional sign up. So, Dana,
Well, really quick. Just make sure that you go to BigDaddyJeffs.com/riff, enter in coupon code,
and you'll get all the
Riff.
shit you need.
and you'll get
The riff shit.
with any purchase over $50, you will get the limited edition collectible Donome Trump collectible gnome.
3, 2,
We've
1.
got to have that.
Bury your hatchet.
3, 2, 1.
And don't bury your hatchet.
3, 2, 1.
All the good shit.
3,
Literally can't buy
2,
shit.
1.
Big Daddy Jeff always treats you right.
Nice.
Yay.
See you next
We
time.
talked
Next
about
week.
that one.
Hey, guys.
Bye.
I should say same time-ish because
It's
we're never
always messed
on time.
Bye, guys.